Greetings, everyone, and thank you for attending our webcast today. My name is Leif Lowe. I'm the Editorial Manager for Custom Publishing at GCN. I'd like to welcome you to today's webcast entitled Reengineering the Permitting, Licensing, Inspections, and Enforcement Process. This event is brought to you today by GCN and sponsored by Oracle and Helix. Well, agencies that are involved in managing and executing oversight functions, even when it involves a physical infrastructure such as facilities, utilities, equipment, and policy adherence, they can't afford to rely on outdated processes or systems. The labor-intensive nature of those traditional approaches, many of which are still paper-based, can lead to a loss of revenue and poor accountability. Well, during today's webcast, we'll hear from government industry experts who will be discussing how a digital cloud-based approach can improve both the efficiency and the effectiveness of the permitting, licensing, inspections, and enforcement process. You'll learn how your agency can increase revenue, improve systems and personnel efficiency, and improve safety and compliance. Our featured speakers today are Lowell Knighton and Sean Nicely. Lowell Knighton is the Vice President of Business Development for Helix Business Solutions. He's a respected customer experience technologist who has served as one of the chief engineers developing VitalCycle's case management solution. He's assisted many states in developing and adopting their IT systems to better manage demands related to a wide variety of public sector issues. He's also helped large corporations create solutions to maximize their customer experience and organizational efficiency. And Sean Nicely is a senior consultant and implementation specialist with Helix Business Solutions. Sean is one of Helix's premier field service experts. He's a highly experienced senior consultant and implementation specialist who's been working with Oracle Field Service since even before it was Oracle Field Service. He has more than 6 years' experience with TOA technologies prior to the Oracle acquisition. He's also led numerous successful field service implementations across a variety of industries and markets. Well, thanks again for listening in today. Before we get started, I just have a few housekeeping items to cover. As part of the presentation today, our speakers will be showing you a demo via a screen share. To view this portion, we'll direct you to the media player window on the side of the main slide window. To maximize that window for viewing when the time comes, you can click on the square icon in the top right corner of the media player window. If you'd like to enlarge the slides during the rest of the presentation, just look for the square icon in the top right corner of the slide window. You can also view the presentation in full screen mode by clicking on the squared arrows icon. And if you'd like to download a copy of the presentation you're about to see, just look for the Resource Center below the question field. And now without further ado, I'd like to hand things over first to Lowell.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And we appreciate all of your time today to walk through this and allow us to present to you a few things that we believe will be very helpful in not only maximizing your current resources, but also helping you recover lost revenue and increase efficiency inside your organization. But before we jump into the demo, I really want to give you a little bit of a background of what you're about to see, because it is also important, not only the functionality, but where it's built, how we provide it, and what those advantages are. So the first thing I'd like to note is that everything we're about to show you is built on an enterprise class cloud. It's been around before the word cloud was even invented for producing these types of applications. It provides not only that enterprise scalable architecture, but it also provides government cloud and FedRAMP certification, so as well as HIPAA and PCI and the things that you would want in the security realms of what you're about to see to keep your department and your customers and constituents safe and their data safe. So what we have done is built upon this architecture and are going to be able to provide you, depending on the size and needs of your organization, we'll call it a custom-built solution. In reality, what that means is we're going to take these pre-established enterprise secure cloud elements and we're going to bolt them and integrate them together in a way that fits for your organization. So what we are not doing is building custom from scratch. You're getting proven modular components built and configured together to allow you to build the home or building that you're needing for your organization. That includes your unique policy adherence, your unique inspections, your unique criteria. But it's a configuration, not a customization. This allows us a couple things. Built in the cloud and configuration will allow speed to market, but it also allows you to maintain currency over time. So it's not a build once and you continue to have to build out functionality. This cloud infrastructure will have functionalities become available to you, and you get to opt into upgrades and security enhancements and all the things that are available in a commercial off-the-shelf platform. The only difference is it becomes configured uniquely to you. So happy to share more about that if you have greater interest in digging into those details. But for now, let's move forward a little bit, and let's talk about the other difference. In today's world, not only do we have a different technology that allows you to do things faster, but you also have to be able to implement them. There is a different methodology and structure and process in actually putting a cloud technology to work inside of your organization. Different change management, different requirements gathering, and it is just as important to understand that as it is the actual feature and functionalities of the cloud platform that you're selecting. So the last thing we'd like to kind of start helping you understand is what is it that you're going to get and who does this apply to? So here on the screen are a variety of departments that we're working with and organizations to help them utilize the features and functionalities. Again, you'll notice that many of them are quite different. Health and Human Services and motor vehicles, for example, seemingly on the surface would have very distinct and unique needs. And in fact, they do. But it helps underscore the flexibility and configuration abilities inside the platform that allow you to get what you specifically need. Now, again, what is it? It's a mobile, modular, modern technology that is built on a FedRAMP secure cloud. It is also a commercial technology. We're now in the realms of being able to provide for our public sector customers the exact same robust commercial technologies that exist out in commercial environment today. There is no reason that you can't have and take advantage of everything that's available today. And again, that means it's more affordable, more configurable, and more quickly implemented. You should be looking at something that's counted in a matter of months for implementation, not years. So what are the outcomes? First of all, requirements are important. Outcomes and benefits are more important. We certainly will capture requirements, but we want to make sure that those outcomes help drive efficiency, compliance, and safety. Those are the outcomes that we're after. And you'll see as we engage that even the project management and implementation methodology are driven by the outcomes. Requirements are important and certainly documented and put into place, but requirements alone without the desired outcomes are not enough. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over and we're going to take a quick look. Now there are two portions to the VitalCycle platform, two major portions. There's the permit application or license application process, and then there's the ongoing maintenance of those existing permits or licenses. We're going to take a look at the latter portion and how we would help you and your field team and office team better manage the certification process and recertification on an annual basis or complaint process for those existing licenses or permits today. As a reminder, this is going to be shown in your audience view window that you need to open up on the side. So we're going to start by sharing and looking at an email that would have been sent as a reminder. Again, we would have been told by an external system that indeed there was an anniversary to be done, and that's the example we're going to show today. That hey, Alex, you've got a pending annual or anniversary inspection coming up. This is a heads up to you, and if you would like, you could suggest perhaps a time when you might want to have that inspection done. So what this allows us to do, and we're going to jump over here in a second now, is we're going to go look at the portal view of what that might be, a view of it, to allow Alex to validate the annual inspection and also potentially suggest a time that might work for him and begin to proactively manage your schedule for your inspectors. So as you can see, it knows who you are, pre-populates. We're going to go ahead and scroll down here, and we're going to go ahead and select a date and time that allows us to at least suggest. Now, please note that this is a suggestion and a request, not a mandate necessarily as to when this inspection is done. Because this is a significant time out of when the anniversary is actually due, better customer service and potentially better scheduling environment for your inspectors to be able to make this happen. So we're going to go ahead and schedule that date and time, and it was submitted. So we're going to go now and we're going to switch over to the agent side or the agency side and take a look at the agency dashboard or agent console inside of the tool. Now in this console, the person would be able to have access to the queues if they were over in charge of particular types of inspections, or to be able to show and ratify those. We would be able to allow that to happen. So in this case, we can show that Alex has that 2017 anniversary inspection submitted, and we're able to go ahead and open that up, and it's new. And this inspector is going to be able to take a look at where it's at, what it is, and go ahead and they can look at the request for the inspection. They could add notes. They could correspond back if they so chose at this time. Underneath the inspections tab, they could show and even update any of the equipment criteria if they felt like it was needed, and that's the particular inspection that's going to go out and be scheduled. If everything's okay, they're going to go down and to change the queue and status to be inspected and save it out, and that will send it off. Again, we could choose any queue and any status that works for you, but essentially we'll send it off and then to be scheduled for inspection with the desired or requested date and time. Now, we filled out today's date and time so that we could control our demo environment as to when that might look like and what it might look like. So we're going to switch over now to that screen, and Sean is going to help talk about the scheduling environment and the benefits and advantages that you will get inside of that. So Sean, I'll let you take over screen control at this time and begin that, and we're going to continue to talk through, and you'll hear me again here in a moment. But Sean, over to you.
Thank you. My screen should be coming through momentarily. And there it is. So I'm going to walk through kind of the scheduling portion. As Lowell discussed, we've created the inspection, we've confirmed a date and time that we want. And now what we're looking at is almost a dispatcher or manager view of my inspectors in the field. The left-hand portion of the screen here, you'll notice we're focused on the Memphis office and the folks working within Memphis. But this will be broken down to fit, any number of business needs. We also can grant access to different folks at levels of this tree. So people who are responsible for managing Memphis would log in and see Memphis, and those folks who are responsible for managing other offices would see that. If you look over here to the right, this is a real-time Gantt chart view of what's going on with my inspectors in the field. These are already scheduled jobs, which can be done one of two ways, by our routing engine or by manually, dragging those onto their schedule. The blue jobs here represent those jobs that are completed. The green jobs represent what my inspectors are currently working on, and the yellow jobs are representing anything pending in the future. And I have this great timeline to indicate when I expect them to be finished. These blue boxes in between the jobs indicate the expected travel time. So I have a really great picture of what's going on in the field. You'll notice I do have a red job that's indicating some sort of issue with this. If I highlight it, I can get additional details. It tells me down at the bottom that I might lose the SLA window or the window I promised to the customer. It looks like this job needs to be completed Tuesday the 17th by 6 p.m. Currently, it looks like I'm going to complete it just after 6:30. So quickly and easily, I can drag and drop this to someone who appears available. Dylan doesn't have a lot going on at the end of his day. So I can drag and reassign this task to Dylan, and you'll see that it's no longer red, indicating that my schedules are aligned. So the tool is really proactive about notifying you when you might have an issue with customer commitment or something of that sort. In addition to the timeline, there's additional ways you can view the data. If I look at Jeff Brown here, schedule, I can view his data in a list, so I can get some additional details about what's going on. You'll notice that the colors are going to come through and appear the same that they did on the time view. I can also view this data in a map view, so I can pull up a route of exactly what's going on in the field for Jeff. It'll show me, what job he's currently on and where his next one's located. Because the inspectors will be using our mobile application, we can pull through their location. So if I choose to share their resource location, you'll actually see in real time where they're at. Because I'm locked in as Jeff in Cleveland, you'll notice I'm up here in Cleveland. But this is a great tool for figuring out, how close they are to jobs you're trying to schedule, how close they are to folks that might need assistance. So we can pull through their location there. Getting back to our job that we scheduled through for Alex, I can see the Memphis office has one job to be scheduled. So if I go ahead and show the jobs that need to be scheduled here, I can see we have an annual. Again, it's the same information that we just viewed. I can go ahead and drag and reassign this to Jeff Brown, and I'm going to place it as his next job on his schedule. And you'll notice it drops right in there, and he can go about his day. I can also, through the tool, message Jeff and say, hey, Jeff, just assigned you a new task. So the tool has built-in chat capabilities that would allow you to reach out proactively to your field staff and let them know. And Jeff can message back. So it's a great feature when you're assigning and working with tasks to proactively let folks know about what's going on. In addition to dragging and dropping like I just did, the tool has a complex routing module that allows you to assign out tasks automatically based on a number of criteria. It will take into account, which skills my inspectors have. So if they're only allowed to work on certain equipment or certain types of work, their location to the job, and numerous factors that go into everyday scheduling can be built into the tool and can schedule, thousands of jobs in just a couple of minutes. So these pre-built schedules like this, you will not have to drag and drop and reassign everything. The routing module can go ahead and take into account your rules and the way you schedule and assign those out effectively. So I'm going to jump over to Jeff Brown and show you what it might look like for a field person. So if I click over here to Jeff Brown, again, the colors are consistent. So this first job here is the job I'm actually working on. You can see the two that I have closed down there, and you can see any activities that I have left to go. So I'm going to go and close the job that I'm currently working on. You'll see that onto my schedule popped the job that we've assigned to Jeff, Alex's job. I'm going to go ahead and click into that. I have any number of details here. The great part about, again, the cloud solution is we're able to configure this and tailor this to meet your needs, so we can show as much or as little information that's relevant for the inspector to do his job. We can show previous results, those types of things. And when I'm ready to perform the work, I will go up here and I will select Start. What this does is indicate, again, to that timeline view that I'm now started on a new task. It provides information throughout the system to let everyone know what's going on in the field. Whenever I'm ready to perform the actual inspection, I can launch the inspection form. So the inspection form here will load, and it will be pre-populated with the data from the activity itself. Well, do you want to walk through the inspection form?
You betcha, thank you. And so, as you all noted, again, even though we're viewing this in a web browser, this is fully compatible with any mobile device. And so in addition to that, the inspection can also be relevant. So in today's world, in this example, we're talking about an elevator. If we were talking about an escalator or a boiler or a building or whatever it may be, we can feed up through this inspection the exact inspection form that is pertinent to the job. So in this one, we're going to go through and we're going to go ahead and fill it out. You'll notice again there's some filled out data on that was passed over as well. So we'll go ahead and go on to the next screen. And then you'll notice also at the top as we go to the next screen, there's a little progress bar that can be configured and shown to allow the inspector to kind of know where they're at, but also go back and forth. Now, in this particular one, we're going to go ahead and there are some required fields, and we only made the first set required, so we're going to go ahead and fill those out. And brand new elevator, so everything's passing, looks pretty good as far as feature, function, and technical and mechanical capabilities. And we're going to go ahead and fill that out, but because we didn't make these pieces required, we're just going to go ahead and click through next to kind of the ending section. But now, even though we're showing radial buttons at the moment, that's not all the types of information that you can show. So we can also do free-form comments, which we're going to do here, and we're going to talk about some graffiti on the actual elevator itself. But we could also have done other field types such as drop-down menus and normal selection criteria that you would like. So we're just going to show this. There was graffiti on the elevator door, and you know what? We're going to go ahead and take a picture of it. Now, we're going to show a picture of the graffiti, but this could have been loose cable, wearing cable, door not closing tight, anything that you wanted to document as part of this. Now, we did a picture in this particular instance, and we'll go back and see this here in a moment, but it just as easily could have been a sound clip, a video clip, or something else. So we're going to go ahead and click next on that, and then we will also then be able to wrap up the final portions of this particular inspection. Again, it can be 1 page long, it can be 10 pages long. It also, by the way, this is a policy automation tool, so it can also be dynamic in nature. So depending on what you select previously, it can drive what fields may or may not show, as well as pull content in from other systems. Obviously, we're capturing a digital signature, which you will also see here in a moment. And then let's go ahead. There's many more feature functions that we can talk about, but at the moment, let's go ahead and submit this, and that will then write it back to the core system. Again, Aries Cloud, mobile-based, modern, everything you would expect. Can this work offline? It can. And so let's now switch back to the agent screen, and we're going to go ahead and when this came in, this is going to and can, based on a business rule, re-queue this up for the responsible party inside the agency to validate, all right, indeed the inspection occurred, the forms were filled out properly, we're going to go ahead and pass this guy. And once that's done, and you can see we're going to go ahead and do a refresh here. We've got a view of Alex in this particular set of inspections, and you can see there's the 2014, 2015, 16, and 17 annual inspections, and on it would be going. Now, let's go ahead and open up the incident, and we would be able to go in and look, and we're going to go into the attachments section, and if you can see on the bottom left, it did say indeed passed. We're going to go into attachments, and let's just open up the inspection form and take a look. And when the inspection is actually completed, whether there's remediation needed or not, there is a hard copy PDF form that is available and always out there. Now, that does not mean that the elements that are in this form aren't available as fields to report on. They absolutely are. But this is a certified record of that particular inspection, and is available permanently out there. Now, let's go ahead and close this, and let's actually go over to the web portal where Alex, who would have received a notification that, hey, your inspection's been done, the department's looked at it, there weren't any anomalies, time to go ahead and complete your annual inspection. And hey, if you'd like to know more, feel free to open up your portal. And so we're back over to that portal. Again, look, feel, colors can all be easily formatted to your particular needs. And here's the inspection and what is available out there for him to look at. So this could be, and we can open up the PDF form here. And again, this could be today's inspection, last year's, and essentially you get to choose what they're able to see. If you wanted Alex to be able to see in a field format version of this information, you could. But that's not necessarily what we do by default. As you'll notice, the signature's there. Everything is there according to what was copied. So that, in a very, very short time frame, is the highlights of what VitalCycle will do. Obviously, here's the picture to document anything that happened. Again, what we did not show today was the license application or the permit application portion of this. This is obviously the component around annual inspections, but this is also applicable for complaints. Someone complained that the elevator was sparking or jittery or whatever it may be. Complaints and anniversary inspections can also be two different inspections forms altogether, and you can go through and manage those, and that's the portion we've shown you today. We'd love to be able to talk about any of the pieces that you've seen today and how it might apply to your particular department. But the one message that we do want to get across is it is time to re-engineer. It's time to allow our public sector the opportunity to quickly provide out to their constituents and customers, if you will, the same personalization, modernization, and also drive ROI and efficiency and safety inside of the organization. And that's really what we're trying to do here, is allow you access to that technology to rapidly be able to accomplish your department's goals and help with the efficiency and safety of those in your charge. And that will conclude our demo for today. And Leif, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lowell. And thank you, Sean. Those great demos. Good stuff in there. I can see there's a lot more to it than that short demo would allow. Anyway, but that is all the time we have for today. Just wanted to give a big thanks to Lowell Knighton and Sean Nicely for their presentation and that informative demonstration. I'd also like to thank Oracle and Helix for sponsoring this webcast. And please feel free to reach out to the folks at Oracle and Helix for more information using the link you could see on that demo slide, the VitalCycle demo slide. Thank you very much for listening in today, and this concludes today's webcast.